get some more.
Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about donut charts. Okay, a donut chart is essentially a pie chart with an area of the center cut out. Okay, just like a pie chart, a donut chart shows the relationship of parts to a whole, but a donut chart can contain more than one data series, and each series that you plot in the donut chart adds a ring to the chart. And the first data series is usually displayed in the center of the chart, as you can see here. Okay, and one advantage of a donut chart is that they are more space efficient than pie charts, because the blank space inside the donut chart can be used to display information within it. And so you can see that the blank space that we have in the donut chart is being used for displaying information about the grades. So on your screen you can see the donut chart representing grades in 3 subjects. Okay, math, English, and science. And you notice that when I change the grade for one of them, you notice how the donut chart changes. Okay, the ring changes, and then it represents what the grade is. Okay, when I change science to, let's say, 92%, you watch the green goes to 92% and the ring goes accordingly. Okay, and then it's left with about 8% for it to be a whole. So that is what donuts are, and I'm going to show you how to create this from scratch. Okay, so I'm going to copy the data itself, and then I put it on a blank sheet, and I'm going to show you how to create this from scratch. Okay, so the first thing to do is to insert like a blank donut chart. So I'll go to you click on insert, and then click on charts, and then donut chart is down here. Okay, and then the next thing to do, let me increase the size a little bit. The next thing to do is is to reduce this. So you click on the donut chart, which is empty right now, and then you go to format, and let's reduce it to, let's say, 2 inches by 2 inches. So the height is 2 inches, and then the width is also 2 inches. Okay, so now it's a square. Okay, and then the next thing that I'm going to do is to add the first series, and the first series is going to just be all ones. It's going to be a ring. So I'm going to go into the select the series, and then just right click, and then you go to select data, and then we're going to add the first series. So click on add, and then don't put in anything at the name, but then in the series values just put 1 20 times until we get 21s. Okay, so 4
5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16
17 18 19 20. So we have 21s, and then you can even see from here, when you check the edit section, you can see that it's 20. So we have 21s, and I did that in order to partition the donut chart. So once I do that, I don't need the chart title and this legend here. So what I'm going to do is just to click on the chart element, and then take out the chart title and then the legend. So it's all gone. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do here is to reduce the hole in the donut. Okay, it is too thin, so I would want to reduce the hole. So click on the donut, right click, and then click on format data series, and then you reduce the whole size. You can grab this and reduce it, or you can just type it in. It doesn't really make any difference. So I'm going to type it in. Let's reduce the whole size to 60%. Okay, so the whole size is reduced. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is to just add a color to the donut chart, and that is done by using the fill and line button here. So once you click on that, you click on fill, and we are going to make it a solid fill, and then we give it a color. It could be red, whatever. Just put in red here. Okay, and then that is done. So this is going to be the one for month. Okay, and the next thing I would want to do is to remove the border line and the shading and the white background at the back. So what I'm going to do here is to click on the chart and then go to format, and then shape fill, we'll say no fill. Okay, and then shape outline, we don't want any outline. Okay, so you notice that you don't see the square surrounding the donut chart. Okay, so this is the one for month. Okay, but then we need 3 of those. So I'm going to copy this and paste it 3 times. So again, go back, click on that, and then copy, and then I'm pasting it 3 times. This is the first one, and this is the second one. The next thing to do is to make sure that they are all in line. So I'm going to select this and then press the shift key, and then select the second one and then the third one. And then the next thing to do is to go to format and then go to align. The align, we are going to align the middle. Okay, so they are all lined up properly. You can as well align the top. It's going to be the same thing. So now the next thing that I'm going to do here is to change the colors. When you notice that they are all different colors, red, blue, and green. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So this is already red. I'm going to change this by clicking and then right click, format data series, and then click on fill and line, solid fill, change it to blue. Okay, and then you click on the next one. We already have the format shape dialog box open, so I'm not going to open it back up again. Click on the data series, go back here, solid fill, and then the solid fill, and it's going to be green. Okay, so now we have all the 3 donut charts. Okay, now how do we represent these numbers in here? Okay, so what I would need to do here is to add another data series to each of them to represent these values. It's another data series, but when you look at it, this is 100%, and we are representing only, for instance, for the math, it's 100%, and we are representing only 87. So the rest have to be in there, and it has to be a different data series. So I'm going to put that in, and I'll call it maybe that is the remaining. So I'll say maybe a help pack column or something like that. You can name it anyhow you want. So this is going to be 100% minus column C, and it's 13%. I'm going to make it 1 decimal place like the others, and then you just drag this down. So if it is, let's say, 67% for English, we are left with 33 to 100. So that is what this column is doing, and each is going to be a series by itself. So I'm going to add the next series, which is math, to this, to the green. So what I'm going to do here is to select this, right click, and go to select data. So I'm adding the math series to the red donut chart. So I'm going to add this series, and what is the series name? Is called math. And then what is the values in the series? It's going to be this series, the 87 and the 13. They are data points, okay, on the series. And I say okay. When you look at this, you notice that it has formed another ring. Okay, that is another series with 2 data points, and the blue part is showing is the 87. Okay, and then the 13 is the this other color. Okay, so that is the next series. The next thing to do is that I don't want to show them on different axes. I want to show them on the same axis so that I can superimpose one on the other, okay, for it to come out the way I want. So I'm going to select the series, select it twice, make sure that let me go back again, select this outer series, and then what I need to do at this point is that I'm going to make it a secondary axis series, because there's another series there already, which is the one that are represented by the ones, and they are being shown as the red here. So I'm going to right click and go to select change series chart type, and that is the math that we are dealing with, and I'm going to make it secondary axis. Okay, check the secondary axis box and say okay. So now we have the secondary axis, but it's in front of the primary axis, the one that we added first. So the red one is hiding behind this. So how do we get that to come to the forefront? So this is 87 again, like I said, and this is a 13, the small portion here. Okay, so I'm going to make this small portion transparent, okay, so that the red can show, because that is what I've actually wanted to show here. So click on this, it select all the series, click on it again, and it selects only the 87%, okay, the first data point, which is the actual grade. And then you right click, format data point, and then click on the fill a line, and then make it no fill. Okay, once you make it no fill, you notice that the red is which shows the 87% is brought to the front. We can see it. Okay, now click on the next data point, which is the 13%. So click here once, click here twice. Okay, the second time it selects the data point. Right click, format data point. Again, go back to the full align. This time we are not going to make it no fill, because we want it to show something. We are going to make it solid fill, but then the color is going to be white. Okay, we make it white, and then we set the transparency. So drag this here a little bit until we get to a point that we can so let's say 20% transparency is okay. All right, so you see the math is completed. Okay, so even if I change here to 65, you see that the chart changes and represents 65, and then the rest, which is 35, is on the left hand side, and that one is gray. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing with the English, which is the blue one representing the English. Okay, so again, click here, right click, select data, add another series, and which is English, and then remove whatever is here, and then select the series for English, which is these 2 data points. Okay, and then you click OK, and then OK, and OK. Now we need to put the next series, or the second series that we added, we need to put it on the secondary axis. Okay, so right click here again, go back and right click once, we select the series, and then change series chart type, and then go and make it secondary axis. Okay, so now the blue is hiding behind this. Okay, so we click, this is the 67% data point, so we select it once and twice, because we are selecting only this data point. Okay, so don't click it just once, you click it twice to select the data point. So right click, format data series, line and fill, no fill. Okay, and then we go back, click this, click that again. This time we are going to fill it with white. Format data point, line and fill, solid fill. We are filling this with white and then making it transparent. Okay, we set the transparency to 20%. Type the 20 if you want. Okay, so now math, the English is in shape. If we change this to 87, you see that the donut chart changes accordingly. The next thing to do is for science, so I'm going to click on that, click on it again, right click, select data, add series, this time it's science, and then remove the series values. And these are the two series that we have with two data points, 192 and 1 is 8. Okay, so we say okay, and then say okay again. The next thing to do is to click on the series, the outer series, right click, change series type, and make it a secondary axis. And then we go back, this is a 92, we'll go back, we click on it once, twice, again to select the data point, right click, format data point, line and fill, and then we make it no fill. Okay, then we go back, we click on the, let me move this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so you click the second data point, which is the 8%, and it's shown in this color. You click once, twice, right click, format data series, go to the fill a line. This time we are going to make it a solid fill, but then the color that we want is white color. Okay, and then again we make the transparency 20%. Okay, we are all set. All right, so now we have 3. Okay, now we cannot leave our donut charts like this. It will be difficult for somebody who is looking to even make any sense of which is which. So I'm going to go in and then label them. Okay, and then we'll put the label in the center like we see in here. All right, so what I'm going to do is to do that by using the text box. So we'll go to insert, and then we would put in the text box, and then we draw a small text box at the back here, and then we click on the text box and click in the formula bar and type equal to, this is equal to 65%. Okay, and then we make it a little bit bigger. And then we put it in the center. I'm going to select the font, so go and select the font which is a little bit thicker than what we are looking at. So we'll go through and select a very thick font to make it more beautiful. Okay, I'll select this. Alright, expand it a little bit so that the percentage can show. Again, we don't want this square line around it, so we'll go to format, select it, go to format, shape fill, no fill, shape outline, no outline. Okay, and then we'll grab this, and when we raise it and put it in the middle here. Okay, and then the next thing we do is to copy this, press shift, and then you point to the edge until you see this plus, press Control so that we can make a copy and put it here. Okay, and then we do the same thing, press Control, point to the border until you see this plus sign with the arrow, and then go and put it in the middle here. Okay, the next thing we have to do is to align them properly. So again, select this, the first one, press shift, select the second one with your fingers up on the shift, you select this one, and then you go to format, align, we can say align top, so they are all aligned properly. Okay, now they are all showing 65. They are showing that of math. I'll have to change that. So this is for math, but then this is supposed to, you say C3, but then it's supposed to be what? C4. So just change the 3 to 4 so that it points to the grade for math. You notice that when I did this, it's reduced. Okay, so I have to go back and put it at the same size again. So again, I go to that of science, and then science is what? C5. So I change it to C5, and then I'm going to make the change here. Go to click here, go to home, and look at the font size is maybe it's 11. Maybe let me make it 12 and see. Make it 12, and then go here and then make that one to 12, and then using the same font. If you don't want to do that, you can just select this and then use the format painter. Click on the format painter and click this one. Click on the format painter again and click this one. Okay, and they are all in the showing in the middle. Now I need to change the color so as to match the color of the donut. So I click on this and change the color to red, and click on the math and change the color to blue, and then click on the 92% and change the color to the donut color. Okay. Now the next thing to do is to put a label to show which subject is being represented here. So I'm going to again add a text box. So insert the text box and then draw maybe a nice little text box here, and then click on it, and then go to the formula bar and type equal to math. Okay, and then we can again increase the font size of this, and then you can make it maybe 12 again like the other ones, and then you can reduce the size and then make sure that it's centered. Okay, all these ones have to be centered. Again, we go back and then remove the outline. So click on the text box, go to format, shape outline, no fill, the shape outline, no outline. You can grab it and take it up a little bit like I did with the other ones. I'm going to click on this and then press the control and then point to the edge like this until you see a plus and an arrow sign, and then just drag. It's just like copy and pasting, but this is a short way of doing it. Again, whilst you are here, press the control key, point to the line, it becomes a plus and an arrow sign, and then click and drag to get this. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is to change the colors. So this one is supposed to be to match the top color, because it's very important. It has to look beautiful. And then this is supposed to match the, but I need to change the cell reference first. So this is math, so showing math, it has to be C4 so that it shows the English. You notice how it changes, but I will change it back. So this one is B5, and then I'm going to copy the font here, select here, copy the font and select here. Now I'm going to change the color of the font. It's blue and this is green. Okay, so we are in top shape. Alright, so if I go here and change size to 78, you see that the size changes accordingly. Alright, so the next thing to do here is, when you notice here, everything is arranged in the square nicely with the header. So I'm going to do the same thing here. But before I do that, okay, so go to insert and then a text box, and then just draw a text box around here. Okay, now it has covered everything, but I want to send it to the back. Okay, so whilst you have clicked on this, go to format and then make it send to back. It sends the whole thing to the back. All right, that's what you select, send to back. And then we also have another text box which shows the header which says my 2018 school grades. So I'm going to go back and go to insert again, insert a text box, and then you can put it in here, and then you can type my 2018 school grades. And then again select the whole border and then put it in the middle. You can change the font. Let's make it, let's say 16. And then the box that we have, we can format the text box and just use one of these beautiful text boxes. We can put it in the color that we want, and then we can even make it, add some shapes to it, shape effect. We can make it beveled, and then make it look pretty. You can change the color if you want, but this is what comes out of it, and it looks exactly what you see. So you can go ahead and change this to 98 for math, and then it changes accordingly. English to 56%, it changes accordingly to 56%, and then science to 87%. These are certainly not my grades, so English I'm going to take it up because I don't get 56% in English, so I'm going to make it 78%, and then it changes accordingly. Okay, so this helper cell, we don't need it anymore, so you can even make it, change the font color and make it white so that it gets lost. And then that's it. You have your donut charts. Okay, so if you have any questions, just send me an email, or maybe use the comment box below, and then I'll be happy to help you. And thanks for watching.